All right, so are you ready to take a deep dive with me? Today we're going behind the curtain in Hollywood.
Oh, always fascinating back there.
Right. We're looking at a recent interview with Katt Williams,
Oh, wow.
and it was on the Club Shay Shay YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you, he did not hold back.
He's not really known for holding back, is he?
Not at all. You know Katt Williams for that raw, unfiltered comedy, often tackling social and political issues head on?
Yeah, not afraid to ruffle some feathers.
No, he is not. And that's what makes this deep dive so interesting.
It does. Katt Williams definitely pushes boundaries. And this interview is no exception. He makes some pretty bold claims
He does.
about a lot of big names
Yeah.
and really seems to be questioning how success is built in the entertainment industry.
He doesn't shy away from controversy. So let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
So his central claim is that there's this hidden power structure in Hollywood, like this kind of secret society that controls who makes it and who doesn't.
Okay, interesting.
He uses the term cabal a lot. And he even kind of implies that some of the biggest names in comedy, people like Steve Harvey and Kevin Hart, might owe their success more to this system than actual talent.
That's a bold statement.
It is.
What's fascinating to me is that he tries to back it up
He does.
with specific examples. Like, for instance, he claims that Steve Harvey
Okay.
wasn't actually homeless
Right.
early in his career.
Which is a story that a lot of people know, right?
Yeah, like he said in the past. Williams says Harvey was actually making good money doing stand-up, and even alleges that Harvey quit stand-up after losing a comedy battle to him in Detroit.
Oh, wow. Like a real-life comedy soap opera.
Right.
It makes you wonder about the stories we hear
It does.
from celebrities.
Yeah.
How much of what we see is carefully crafted?
That's the question. That's the big question. And this idea of narrative control pops up again when Williams talks about Kevin Hart and his success. He finds it suspicious how quickly Hart became a Hollywood A-lister, landing a sitcom and movie roles seemingly overnight. And Williams is suggesting this just doesn't happen organically,
Right.
thinking that Hart's career was somehow preordained by this so-called cabal.
He even uses the term plants.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Which paints a picture.
It does. Like, it's very deliberate. Like,
Yeah.
some careers are strategically cultivated while others are left to struggle.
This connects to a broader concept called gatekeeping
Okay.
in the entertainment industry. It's this idea that a select few control who gets access, who gets opportunities, whose stories are told and amplified.
Right. It's not a new concept.
No.
Hollywood has a long history of these power dynamics.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Williams isn't just pointing fingers, though.
Okay.
He also talks about his own experiences, claiming he's turned down a $50 million offer. Wow. Multiple times.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like he's trying to make a point about maintaining his integrity and speaking his truth, even if it means sacrificing financial gain.
Which raises a question then.
Yeah.
What's the price of speaking out
Right.
in an industry like this? Is Williams being intentionally excluded for not playing the game? He claims that he was shunned for speaking out against Harvey Weinstein, long before the accusations against Weinstein became public.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah, it is.
And he doesn't stop there. He even alleges that Diddy propositioned him. And he says he has receipts to back all of this up.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot to unpack. It really makes you think about the nature of celebrity itself. How much of what we see is real and how much is manufactured.
Right. Are we as fans sometimes too quick to believe the narratives that are presented to us? Do we maybe need to be more critical of the stories we hear, especially when they come from people who are, by nature, very good at self-promotion?
It's easy to get caught up in the glitz and the glamour, but there's a whole lot happening behind the scenes in Hollywood.
Definitely layers upon layers of power dynamics, personal relationships, unspoken rules, and maybe even a few secrets.
So what stands out to you so far about Katt Williams' claims? What are you finding most compelling or intriguing? We'll be right back to delve even deeper into this interview and see what else we can uncover.
You know, one thing that really stands out to me is how Katt Williams positions himself in this interview. He's constantly contrasting his own journey
Right.
with the careers of those he's criticizing.
Right.
It's almost like he's saying, I did it the right way, through hard work and talent,
Yeah.
while others took shortcuts.
He definitely leans into that David versus Goliath narrative.
He does.
He even calls himself a righteous warrior at one point.
Wow.
It's like he wants to be seen as the underdog who's being punished for speaking truth to power.
And that narrative seems to be working.
It does.
You see a lot of people in the comment section of that interview.
Yeah.
They seem to believe him. They see him as a truth teller.
It's interesting how that message taps into that broader cultural distrust of authority and institutions. That sense that things aren't always as they seem.
Right.
Yeah, and Williams feeds right into that.
He does.
He emphasizes his own dedication to his craft.
Yeah.
His relentless touring, his connection with the audience. He's implying that he earned his success the hard way while others have been given a free pass.
It's a powerful narrative, especially within the world of stand-up comedy, where authenticity and hard work are so highly valued.
Absolutely.
He's making a clear distinction between those who pay their dues and those who are manufactured.
Right, and remember, he's not just making these vague accusations.
No, he's not.
He's providing specific examples.
Right.
Like that story about Steve Harvey supposedly quitting stand-up after losing that comedy battle to him in Detroit.
Right. He's trying to back up his claims with concrete details.
Yeah.
Now, we can't verify the accuracy of those claims.
We can't.
It's Williams's word against Harvey's.
Right.
But even if the specifics are fuzzy, the story itself is compelling. It feeds into this idea of a hidden rivalry, a behind-the-scenes struggle for power and recognition that we rarely get to see.
It's like peeking behind the curtain of Oz, right?
Oh.
We all know there's a lot of machinery back there making the magic happen, but we rarely get a glimpse of it.
Exactly. And while we can't say for sure if Williams is being intentionally blackballed like he claims,
Right.
there's no denying that the entertainment industry is notoriously difficult to navigate. There are so many factors at play. Talent connections, timing, luck, and yes, even politics.
It's a cutthroat business.
It is.
And it's certainly possible that someone like Williams, who is known for being outspoken and controversial, might face more challenges than someone who is willing to play by the rules.
That's an interesting point because on one hand, his outspokenness might be working against him. But on the other hand, it's also a big part of his brand.
Right.
It's what attracts his fans. They see him as someone who's not afraid to speak his mind, even if it means ruffling a few feathers.
So it begs the question.
It does.
Is he a victim of a system that's designed to silence dissent? Or is he playing a role that he's carefully cultivated over the years?
It could be a bit of both.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this whole situation so fascinating.
It really is.
It's a reminder that we should always be critical consumers of information, especially when it comes from celebrities who are, by nature, very skilled at self-promotion.
Right.
Crafting their public image.
They're masters of narrative.
They are.
So even if we take some of what Williams says with a grain of salt, he does bring up some important questions.
He does.
Is there a price to pay for speaking out in Hollywood? Are there certain narratives that are favored while others are suppressed?
Those are definitely questions worth considering. And not just in the context of Hollywood. Think about any industry where power and influence are concentrated. It's crucial to be aware of the potential for bias, for hidden agendas, for the silencing of dissenting voices.
Makes you wonder, if we sometimes focus so much on the what of the story, the juicy details, the shocking claims, that we miss the bigger picture.
It's like we get so entertained by the drama that we forget to ask those more critical questions, like who benefits from this narrative? What agendas are at play? Whose voices are being amplified and whose are being silenced?
And it's not just about celebrities in the entertainment industry.
Right, not at all.
This applies to how we consume information in general.
Oh, absolutely.
Think about the news, social media, politics.
Right.
We're constantly bombarded with information these days.
We are.
It's easy to get, swept up in the latest trending topic.
Yeah.
The most sensational headline.
It's like information overload has become the norm.
I think it has.
Yeah.
And that's why it's more important than ever.
I think so.
To pause, to question, to seek out multiple perspectives.
Absolutely.
We need to be critical thinkers. To challenge assumptions, to be willing to dig beneath the surface.
To do our own deep dive, so to speak.
Exactly.
And look for those complexities, those nuances, those stories that might not be getting the attention they deserve.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Katt Williams's claims, what they kind of reveal about the entertainment industry, here's a final thought for you to ponder.
Great.
What responsibility do we have as consumers of entertainment and information in shaping the narratives that we see and hear?
Are we simply passive recipients of information? Or can we be more active participants? Can we demand more transparency, more accountability, more diversity of voices?
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
And hopefully, this deep dive has given you a few more tools to navigate this complex world of information and entertainment.
I think so.
To look beyond the surface and ask those critical questions.
Absolutely.
So until next time.
Happy listening.